Welcome back again. Today we're doing Bill Lee. He's the governor of Tennessee, and sort of kind of a caricature in himself. So anyway, we start with I call it a framework. It's an outline of the outside of the caricature. We start with a chin and kind of throw in a little bit of ear. Always good to have ears. If you don't have ears, you can't hear. Sometimes he may not have ears. But anyway, and then after we do the ears, we start with the nose. Sometimes I start with the eyes, and sometimes I do the nose. It's just depending on what part I start with. A little sketching around the edges. Sometimes I do a little of the shading. After the nose, sometimes I start with the eyes. Bill's got slanted eyes. They're kind of slanted down a little bit on the side, so that's what I start with first. Maybe just a little cross-eyed. We're not sure yet. Now, after the eyes and nose, we start with the lips. He has a sort of a puckering look on his face. I think in one recording here I was trying a while ago, I called it sort of like he's got either a rabbit or a squirrel look. I'm not exactly sure. We'll know when we're finished, though. Anyway, you got to put a few lines in for the lip, kind of darken in for where the shade is inside the mouth. Show a couple of teeth, and just a little bit of the upper lip, not much. And then, of course, there's shadow under the nose. We come in, we start doing the pupils in the eye. The pupil of the eye is the darkest part of a person's face. Kind of shade in a little bit. Leave little circles for the some people call it the twinkle of the eye. It's where the light shines into the eye. Got the lines over the top. Got these laugh lines. And then, of course, we've got some shadow. He's got deep-seated eyes, very dark. I don't think I do that in this caricature. I don't really set them in as deep. I give a little eyebrow, some lines across the eye. Sort of shape the nose a little better. And one of the places I normally make the darkest is under the chin. It adds weight to the face. It gives a feeling that the top of the face is sort of putting pressure down on the bottom part. And then I put the hair in, some shading for the hair. And let's do some more shading there. A little bit more hair, give him a part. Then I come in and work some on the ears. Well, one of the things you'll notice, I jump from one part to the other part, and a lot of that is to balance out the sketch. You work a little bit here, you work a little bit over here, then you come back and you maybe add a little shadow, a little line under the eye. And of course, he's got worry lines over his face there, so he's got a bunch of those. And a little bit more shadow around the eyes. And, at this point, I'm almost done. I've got quite a bit of the face framed in, quite a bit of the lines. It's pretty well worked out. Most of it's shade, and sometimes I come back and I erase lines I didn't want. But I don't think I did that in this sketch. I think I just worked at it, and finished it. The pencil I use the most for this type of sketch is a Prisma. It's an ebony Prisma, and I've just about wore this one out, so I've got an extender on it just so I can use it. Sometimes I use kneaded eraser. I've got a burnishing tool. Sometimes they're made out of either rice paper or rolled up paper. A lot of these tools I sort of demonstrate and show in the class what I teach. Teach a class at Rose Center every first Tuesday and every third Tuesday of every month. Anyway, there's a little more shadowing. I'll come in and I'm doing finishing touches at this point. Trying to finish up the face. Trying to finish up the all of his wrinkles, his pucker, his duck look, I guess you might say. And I think he is cross-sided in this thing, which means I'm probably in trouble. But anyway, I come back with a burnishing tool, and I use it for two things. I either use it to smooth out a line or to add depth by shadow. This one I'm doing both. I'm smoothing lines, doing depth, adding shadow, trying to give it more of a 3D effect. And a lot of times after I'm done doing this, I'll come back with a pencil and add more to it. But I think what I do here, I add a little neck and give him a shirt, give him something to stand on. I might even give him a tie, I'm not sure. Let's see. Should I give him a tie? Yeah, let's give him a tie. He needs a tie. He's the governor. He's got to at least wear one tie. And he's got to have either a gray or a dark or a black jacket. So there's his jacket. Let's darken it in a little bit. A lot of times I'll just use a straight line for my shadow, and I'll come back with a burnishing tool and kind of spread it out a little bit. I don't think I do that with this one. I'll either use hatching, which that's called hatching, straight lines, or cross hatching. That's where you actually use two lines crossing each other. And we're just about done. We've got Billy really dressed up and ready to go. And we're going to add little round things. And that just sort of adds atmosphere. And this is where I come back and add some after I do the burnishing tool. A little more shadow at the bottom. A little darker, give it more weight. And I'm done. When you're done, the best thing to do is take and sign that. Unless you're really ashamed of it, which I've been a few times. And should I take it off? No, let's don't take it off. Let's not. Let's leave it there for a while. And let's rate by. Thank you for stopping in.